Welcome to Hot Topics Live, everyone. This is our home baker survey result, Hot Topics. So what does that even mean? Well, a few weeks back, I took this survey asking you probing questions about your home baking business. And today I'm going to be sharing all of the results. And stay tuned for this one because the results from this survey blew my mind. You guys absolutely blew my mind on this one. So it might go a little over 15 minutes. I'm going to do my very best to keep this Hot Topics on topic, and we have a lot to share here. So before I jump in to these juicy details about how other bakers are running their business, let's take a few minutes and welcome all of our viewers. We are streaming live inside the Facebook Home Bakery Business Tips group. So welcome to all of you watching. We're also streaming live on YouTube, where you can also check out the Hot Topics live trainings. And of course, if you can't make it to either one of those, you can watch it live, or you can watch it on the replay. And so if you happen to be watching this live recording on replay, a shout out to you as well. I know life gets busy and sometimes you just have to catch it whenever you can. So feel free to comment, even if you're watching it in the replay, because I monitor that conversation just to make sure that I answer your questions either here on the live or over in the comments section. So welcome to everyone watching, and a very special welcome to the 139 members that I welcomed into the group this week. So welcome. You are in what I consider to be the best place on Facebook to learn about the business side of running your bakery, and what a meeting to join on, because we are going to talk all about how other bakers are running their businesses. So before we jump into the results of the survey, I wanted to share a few announcements before we get started. First of all, be sure and check out the brand new welcome post. It's pinned to the top of this group, and it's a featured post. That's the post that I tag you in when you're new to the group, and I've updated a lot of the details so you can find your way around and learn how to catch Hot Topics live, as well as the different programs that I offer to support you if you need a little bit of extra help. And for those of you who have been around for a while, check out step number 3 in the welcome post, because that is newly updated, and that contains all the schedules for when I post in the group and the different type of content that we share. So if you really want to get the most out of this group, that new welcome post is there to help you do just that. And then my other quick announcement before we jump into our topic is that I want to tell you or remind you that tomorrow I'm hosting a virtual home bakers happy hour event. So that's going to be on Tuesday, June 21st at 4 p.m. Central Time. I'd love it if you'd like to join us. I've hear so many of you say how much you enjoy making friends in this group. I love it too. It warms my heart when I see you each of you tagging each other and just getting to know each other. It's so amazing. But the other thing that I often hear is how much you say, it's a little bit lonely baking on your own at home and you feel a little bit isolated. So the virtual home bakers happy hour is just a social event to help you get a little inspired about your business and meet some of the other amazing people in this group. So the sign up link for that is in the featured post as well. So you can go and check that out. All right, now let's get going on this topic because I have so much to cover. So let's go ahead and hopefully we're still streaming. There we go. I apologize if my image looks jumpy, but I think this channel is a little bit better. All right. Now, my computer is very glitchy. I am so sorry about that. I have had tech people out here and I just apologize for it being jumpy, guys. I really am. There's not too much I could do about it. So let's just continue on because the information I have to share is so exciting. Now, I talked about this survey that I shared, and I want to talk a little bit about how I came up with the results so that you really understand the data that I'm about to share with you. Okay, so I did market research over this group, my Home Bakery Business Tips group, and inside my my email list. So over 100 different members contributed to the survey results. And I used a Google form to collect all of the information. And Google Forms are amazing at turning your results into a spreadsheet and even into like a chart format. So that was a great way to collect information there. And that is how I'm going to be sharing some of this with you. So let me just try one. That makes a little bit of a difference in the jumpy quality. All right, see if that's any better. So over 122 bakers participated in this survey, and that allowed me to get a good cross-section of people here. Now, what did I ask? What type of questions did I ask? Well, first of all, I wanted to know how many of you all live within the United States. Now, of course, this group is meant for anybody who wants to benefit from it, but I oftentimes will talk about the United States cottage food laws. And so just knowing how many of you are in United States helps me to understand what type of content you want. So 80% of the survey participants live in United States. And only 3% of those surveys said that baking is just a hobby, that they're not trying to start to sell their products. So what that means is the remaining 97.5% are trying to sell your baked goods. And that's exactly what I was anticipating. So the interesting part here, though, is where you're at in the process. And it really is quite evenly divided among those who are in the process of planning a home-based bakery, those who sell occasionally, and those who sell regularly. So 36% of the survey said they sell regularly, 36% are selling occasionally, and 25% are trying to get that side hustle up and going. So that's not surprising, actually. I hear that in the Facebook group quite a bit. But here's where it starts to get really interesting. So the first question that I asked outside of finding out who you all are is, what is your intention with your business? 61% of you say it's a side hustle, that you've got some other thing going on, or this is not your full-time income. And 23% say it's a full-time job. So that was the first bit of information I thought was a little surprising. For the 23% of you who are making this a full-time job, bravo. That is amazing that you're able to get your income where you want it to be to consider this your full-time job. And that's an inspiration to some of that 61% who has baking as their side hustle, because I know many of you are trying to get your part-time sales higher over towards a full-time job situation. So just so you know, within this group, there are members who are making that work. All right, now, what type of questions did I ask? The first ones I asked were about menu offerings. And I felt like this was the first bit of information that was fascinating to read about. So the first question asked, what do you sell the most of? And the one that you said you sell the most of is, I was almost going to see if I can share my screen here, but I haven't done that here on this platform in quite a while. So let's see how it works. All right, so oh, that is not what we want. All right, hold on, bear with me, guys. All right, here we go. Now you can see what I wanted to share with you. Okay, so let's dig into the category called what do you sell the most of? And you can see in this pie chart, you might not be able to read the detail here, but the categories that I gave people were cookies, bars, and brownies. Is that what you sell the most of? Dipped items like fruit, cake pops, pretzels, and other treats. Everything is broken down into these different categories. And then I asked members what they thought they sold the most of. So surprisingly, cookies, bars, and brownies has 34.6% of members saying that is what I sell the most of. And then almost the exact same amount said cakes and cupcakes were what they sell the most of. So between those two categories, cookies, bars, brownies, cakes, and cupcakes, that represents over 60% of what you all are selling. And that's pretty fascinating. There are some smaller categories here. I asked about yeasted items like cinnamon rolls, soft rolls, breads, and focaccias, and 11.5% of you said that's what you were selling. And then we have a good amount of you who are selling breakfast pastries like muffins and scones. There's 7% of you selling that, and a very small percent doing highly specialized items like gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, dog treats, single item menu items such as like granolas and things like that. So the majority of you are selling cookies, bars, brownies, cakes, and cupcakes. Fascinating information there. Let's take a look at our next category. I asked what best describes your menu, and I gave the answers of does not change, I'm occasionally adding new items, and I will bake anything my customers ask for. And this was really interesting because 52.5% of you said you were occasionally adding new items, with a full 25% saying, I will bake anything my customers ask for. So that was a very interesting answer. I was actually surprised at how small the category of my menu doesn't change is. So we'll touch on that one a little bit more here as we go. Okay, next up, what is your primary method for selling your baked goods? And the categories, since that writing is a little bit small, the categories are farmers markets, fairs and festivals, pre-orders with delivery, pop-up shops in my home, pop-up shops away from my home, and then there's that not yet selling category. And for this one, an overwhelming majority said they are selling pre-orders with delivery. And that one just made my heart go pitter-pat because pre-orders with delivery are the safest way for you to grow your business without having waste, without trying to guess how much is going to be selling at the farmer's market and then wondering what to do with the rest. So of course, all of these methods work, and I wouldn't recommend only one. I do think farmers markets have their place, but in terms of growing your business without the spoilage, without the waste, I absolutely believe that pre-orders with delivery or pickup is the way to go. So that was a lovely result to see, and I feel like that one is not surprising, but this one you might find a little surprising. So along the lines of where you are selling, I asked where the majority of your orders are coming from. And this is like when you're asking in the group, how do I get more customers? How do I find new customers for my business? Or how do I attract new buyers? Over 50, almost 50% of you say that the majority of your orders are coming from friends and family. That one is really surprising, with social media sales only being 33%. So 33% of the people answered saying that's where the majority of their sales are coming from. But neighbors was also up there, almost 30%, saying they sell to their neighbors. And then repeat customers. Look at how many of you are getting your orders from repeat customers. A while back, I did a Hot Topics Live training where we talked about using email in your business. And one of the benefits of email is that it makes it easy to reach out to past customers. And if you're not doing that, you might want to jump into the guides section of the group and brush up on that email technique, because bringing in your repeat customers can be a major source of clients for you. So the smaller categories, wholesale accounts, 2% of you said wholesale accounts were the majority of your business. And then we have 17% who have not gotten orders yet. So there are some people in this survey who are still building your business, and this is valuable information for everyone involved. All right, so the next question I talked about is the one that blew my mind, you guys. I was reading the results as they came in, and it was late at night. I think my husband had already fallen asleep, and I woke him up because I was like, oh, I was so surprised at this one. And this is the question where I asked, I bake my items in, and then the choices were a fully licensed home kitchen, my unlicensed home kitchen, a commercial kitchen, a brick and mortar shop, or something else. And almost 70% of those that replied said they are baking in an unlicensed home kitchen. So while this is amazing, surprising, and shocking to hear, there's no judgment here. There are a lot of different reasons why people might be baking in an unlicensed home kitchen. It could be that you live in a state that doesn't require a kitchen to be licensed. That's the case in the state that I live in. But for many of you, that might mean that, well, this is the scenario I see most often, where people get into baking just to kind of selling your baked goods to see if you like it. And then you realize, I do like this. I can sell my baked goods. People are willing to buy my stuff. And then you need to go back and get licensed in your home kitchen. And so maybe you're at that stage where you're just experimenting to see if this is something that you want to do. And I would encourage you, if you have found that you do want to do this and you want this to be a very reliable side hustle, or even build it into a full-time job, that unlicensed kitchen situation is something that you can go back and take care of. In fact, I've just recently re-recorded my entire course, Home Bakery Regulations. It's a course that kind of walks you through getting registered in your state and teaches you the cottage food laws and what to watch for, how to go about the entire process of becoming a legally operating home-based bakery. All new video content, updated content, brand new workbook. The entire course has just been overhauled. So yeah, so if you feel like you're ready to get licensed, I will drop a link after the show is done recording, and it's something that you can easily take care of. So I don't want you to risk everything that you have invested so far by potentially having fines or closures due to being unlicensed. So that one was a bit surprising to me. All right, now let's move on and talk about which best describes your business profits. I know these graphics are a little small, but I think you can see the big picture image there. And this category, I said, I gave you three choices. I'm not sure if I'm making money. I am sure that I am making money, and I'm sure that I'm not making money. And I also felt like this one was surprising. So 36% of you said, I'm not sure if I'm making money. You don't know if you're making a profit or not. Okay. 39% of you said, I'm sure I'm not making money. 39% of you said, I am sure that I am not making money. And, I'm sorry, I got those ones flipped. 24% of you said, I'm sure that I'm not making money. And 39% of you said, I am sure that I am making money. So this is something that you can absolutely change if you're feeling lost on this question. If you don't know how you would answer this, go to the guide section and check out any of the past trainings that we've done on pricing. There are several in there where I talk about the different elements of understanding how to price your baked goods. And you can absolutely learn how to make a profit in your business. Even if you only make a few sales a month, you can still make a profit at it. So that was a little bit surprising to me, but I'm so glad to learn this information because this tells me what you guys need to know. And in fact, there was a section in the bottom where I asked you to write it in. And so we even got to learn a little bit more specifically about what you wanted to learn. This one says, I pay myself when there's money left over at the end of the month. And 17% of you said that. I pay myself when I need money. 16% of you said that. I pay myself monthly as a percentage of my baking income. Yay for that category. That is exactly how I recommend doing it. And 14.8% of you are doing that. And then I do not pay myself at all for my baking is over 50% of you. So I know that there are several reasons why you fall in any of those categories. Many of you are reinvesting your profits into your business and you're not taking anything out for yourself because you're in a position where you can do that. And that is completely legitimate. That's how I did it my first year. But if you do want to pay yourself from your business, I recommend the monthly as a percentage of my baking income. All right. And that was the first section of our amazing survey results. Now let's talk about a couple more things that came up. How can a survey like this help you and your bakery customers? Now, it really helped me to understand who you all are and where you are needing more help, what kind of topics I should add. And it even helps you because you get to know a little bit how other bakers are doing it. But how could a survey like this actually help you in your business? Well, can you imagine knowing that much about your customers, what they want to buy, how often they like to purchase your type of products, the best place or delivery method for them, and then things that matter to them, like ingredients. Do they prefer organic? Does healthy matter? Is a price point a concern? Do they want customizability? Is quality a concern? If you had the answers to those types of questions, imagine how that could help you to market yourself and how to even improve your products so that you appealed more to your customers. So a survey like this is very easy to do. I just did this on Google Forms and I sent it out to, like I said, the Facebook group and my email list. I also had a chance to ask people what they enjoy most about being a part of the Better Baker Club here in the group or on the Facebook or in my email group, and my subscribers there shared that I find it really helpful to see what other bakers are doing. So I'm glad that that's helpful. Getting answers from experienced bakers helps. And information coming from someone who's been in the business and not a big bakery franchise. So I love that. Things that you would like to see more of. Anything on how to better organize and schedule my days and weeks to more effectively manage everything that has to be done. Some of you said how to market your business and gain more customers. And then we got the cottage food friendly recipes. So I hear you guys loud and clear. This is amazing feedback, and you can believe that I will be using this to deliver that type of content to you. I asked, what is one thing you would like me to do differently? And someone said, move next door. I love that. I don't know who said it, but they gave me a cute emoji, move next door. And another person said, can you do a podcast? I don't have time to read or go through emails or scroll through web content, so listening would be great. And I wanted to let you know that a podcast is in my plan for like the fourth quarter of this year. So somewhere in the November, December range, I absolutely would love to do that. I have some other projects on the forefront right now, so that's not one that's going to happen anytime soon. But you better believe that's in the plans. So I hope that you all felt like this information was useful to help you, number one, kind of understand where other bakers are at, and then also just to see what the possibilities are. So I'm thrilled to share this information with you, and I really hope you found it usable. And I want your action item from this to be identify one of the elements that we talked about today as an area that you feel like you want to grow and improve on in your own business. So let me know in the comments what you felt like you really identified with and you want to grow in that area. And of course, over in the Facebook group, we're going to continue the conversation throughout the week, our theme being these survey results. So feel free to jump in on that conversation if you want to kind of go deeper on some of those topics that we talked about. All right, you guys, I have gone a little over on time. I said 15 minutes, but I had so much to share this week that it ended up being a little closer to 27 minutes. But I appreciate you all sticking around. And I will see you next Monday, 2 p.m. Central Time. And everyone have a great week. I will see you next Monday. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.